Hey, y'all. Welcome to the Yarn Everywhere podcast. I'm back with episode 39. Welcome if this is your first time. I'm Nikki with Avery Creations and ALC Yarns. I'm the crocheter, crochet designer, knitter, crazy yarn lady behind the scenes here. And I'm going to share with you what I'm working on, what I've finished, any yarn news I have going on, and some encouragement. I also will be showing you my September Yarn Club reveal today. So I'm just going to dive right in and show y'all what I have been working on. Hey, Jessica. All right. So I got to show y'all, I got to start out with this. So I think I've been working on this since like before I started the podcast. Whoopsies. Um, this is my very first knit shawl, and isn't it pretty? This is the Copland Shawl by Expression Fiber Arts. And a few months ago, I was knitting this, and I'm at a point where I'm added another yarn color, and I was tired when I did it, and I went the wrong way with the wrong color. And I got myself just completely confused, couldn't figure out how to fix it, just did not know which way to go. And literally, I just had to like set it aside for a while. And then every time I picked it up, like thinking, okay, I think I can fix this. I don't know. I don't know what it was. Like, I didn't wanna make it worse, and I had put so many hours into this. Like, I just I think I was just kind of frozen in fear. Like, I did not want to frog this whole thing. So, my really sweet friend, Christy, was like, "Girl, send it to me." And so, I packed this baby up, and I shipped it to her, and she fixed it so quickly, and it was, like, back to me, like, in less than a week. So knit friends are awesome. Yarn friends are awesome. So I'm super excited to have this back, and really don't have a whole lot more to do on it. So I'm really excited to get this back, and I'm hoping to find some time to just get this baby finished. And then I can learn how to fasten off because I'm the type of person, like, I don't need to know all the things. Like, I need to be dangerous enough to just get started, and then I'll just learn as I go. And it was like not too far from this point that I was like, you know what? I actually don't know how to fasten off. Like, I think the only thing I've finished is hats and socks, and I believe it's a different fasten off method. Wow, I can't talk. I guess it's probably called casting off in the knit world. But anyways, and I was like, "Oh my goodness, I actually don't know how to finish this." But that's what we have YouTube and Yarn Friends for, right? So, anyways, this is the Copland shawl from Expression Fiber Arts, and I loved this so much that I actually started another one. It was not long after the Arkansas yarn crawl. I got some yarn from Lori at Arkansas Yarn Co. I saw the yarn and I'm like, oh my goodness, this is gorgeous. What am I going to make with it? And I was like, you know what? I really like the Copland shawl. So I'll show you that. I really haven't been able to dedicate a lot of time um, to working on it, but it's so pretty. Brace yourself. How pretty is that? Oh, look at those colors. So, super excited about this one too. Maybe by 2020, I don't know, 5, I might be done. We'll see. Um, okay, so let me show you what I'm working on in crocheting. Oh my goodness, y'all. I think I showed So I didn't podcast last week because I had family coming into town. My father and my 2 aunts came down to visit from Illinois, Northern Illinois. And I had it in my head that they weren't gonna be here until probably, like, late afternoon on Wednesday. So when my husband left for work, I planned on coming in here, doing my podcast, and probably dyeing some yarn and a couple other things. Well, I got a text message from them at probably, like, at 11:30, Wednesday morning. They're like, "We're just leaving Memphis." And I'm like, "Oh my goodness." Like, You wanna talk about not prepared. I was still in my pajamas, because my husband's work schedule shifted, so we get up really late in the morning, which is super odd for me. Anyways, it was just super chaotic, so I ended up not having the podcast last week, and I missed y'all. So I have a lot to show you this week. So I don't remember if I showed y'all this or if I think I showed you the yarn that I dyed for this, but it's another Sassy Wrap. This one is on fingering weight. Um, and look at this. Isn't it gorgeous? Oh my goodness, look at all those colors and the texture. Yes, I love it. So, I'm working with basically 3 colorways, but 2 of them are the same, and because it's hand-dyed yarn, you really wanna alternate, at least I do, I really wanna alternate, like, to me, it's like every 2 rows, but so for this, I did one of the color Morning Glory, and then I did the second skein here, first, second, and I just alternated like that. Um, oh, okay, sorry, squirrel. Anyways, so this is what I do. I use these yarn cozies, and then I have like these little tags, and I just label it number 1 and number 2, so I can still alternate it. Anyways, that's kinda my little hack of keeping track with it or keeping up with it. And that way, if there is a variation of the color, it's even, like, it's still gonna look really good. So, that's just a little trick if you are newer to hand-dyed yarn or if you're like me and you're newer to big projects with hand-dyed yarn, that's kind of what I do. So this is the Sassy Wrap. It is in testing right now, and let me tell you, my yarn club. Some of my testers are my yarn club members, but my testers have picked out some gorgeous colors, and one of them has already finished hers, and I'm pretty sure she was one of the fingering weight testers, like, whipped it up so quick, it's gorgeous. So I cannot wait to, see all of theirs and get the notes back, and I'm hoping, like, the first week of December, I will have this pattern ready for the public. It will be available on DK and fingering weight, so when you buy the pattern, you'll get both. So I'm super excited about that because it's been a long time since I've had something pull me away from knit socks. And this project, like that's all I want to do is sit and work on this and finish it. But I've had family in town, and so really haven't had a lot of time to dedicate to this. So I have been working a lot of knitting because I can take it with me or I can like play cards and knit at the same time. And I'm not worried about like messing up colors or something like that. Okay, sorry. Now I'll show you my socks that I've been working on. So yeah, I don't like weaving in ends. Binding off, it's easy. Okay, good. Good. That is so good to know. All right. So, let's see here. So, in my yarn club, I have this all turned about. No, I don't. Okay. In my yarn club, um because mainly my yarn club members are mainly crocheters because when I started it, I was a crocheter and I had noticed that there wasn't a lot of yarn weights, like indie dyed yarn geared towards crocheters. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do it myself. So, anyways, but since I've learned to knit and knit socks, I have joked with all of my yarn club members that they need to come to the sock side. So, I decided for October that we would do like a Socktober knit along event, and it's been really fun. Um, and so this is the one that I'm doing with my yarn club members. And, the last live that I did, I showed them, how to do the decrease once you get to the toe. And then it was like, so my family was here, but they left on Friday to go, to the casinos for a little while, and I'm not a gambler. So I decided that I would just stay at home and I would get some yarn dyed and I would get some videos made. And so I really quickly Kitchener stitched the toe and I did it on like I videoed it. And then I don't know what happened. I had like my yarn wrapped around my needle and I didn't notice it. And then when I noticed it, I like took it off camera and fixed it. and then went back to making the video, and when I went to edit the video, I'm like, "Duh, Nikki, like, that is not gonna help them." So, I, like, hurried and tried to whip up another sock real quick so I could show them how to Kitchener stitch the toe closed. So, that is the story. That's why I haven't finished this one yet, but I'm at that point now. Now I just need to, let them know a time that I'm gonna go live and show them that. So, this is my retro tie-dye yarn, and y'all, I'm obsessed with how these socks turned out, so I think I'm gonna have to do some more. I think I'm gonna have to do some sock kits because I really want some of this on fingering weight. Um, yeah, and I'm already, like, thinking about what colors to do, like, the mini, because I love a different heel and a different toe color when I can remember to change the yarn. So, I'm kind of thinking I want some of, like, that neon green, of course, pink. Um, I don't know. So, I've been sitting here for the last couple days trying to think about what colors I should offer, with them, but I'm hoping to get some yarn dyed for sock sets. Gotta get my advent calendars done first before I can play, and those are on their way because they ship out, I wanna say it was mid-November, so in a couple of weeks, they're gonna be shipping out, so I've gotta get all that done first before I can play with sock sets. Um, so my other sock is coming along. This is the Yarnicorn colorway. Um, y'all, I don't know. I should not be knitting when I'm tired. Um, Somehow I think it's gonna be okay. I really think it's gonna be okay. Somehow when I was doing the decrease, I have 16 on this side, 16 on this side, ended up with 14 on this side and 16 on this side. And you know what? I'm like, I'm just gonna go with it. Maybe it'll just be a little bit more snug on that side. I don't know. I hope it's not gonna be all wonky and lopsided. Surely 2 stitches don't make that big of a deal, but I'm like, "You know what? I'm dedicated." Like, I don't even know where I messed up. I'm not undoing it, and I figured when I get to the end, if it's all wonky, maybe I'll frog it then. We shall see. So almost done with that set. And I did remember to change the color out for the toe. So I'm super excited about these. And so I have this literally every time I have to get to this, I have to pull this sock out. So I will remember to change the color because I forget. This is literally, I want to say I'm close to 10 pairs of socks that I've knit now. And this is the first time I've remembered to change the color. I really wanted a different heel, but I guess I'll have to just deal with having a different colored toe for now. Okay. I think that's all that I'm working on. Nope, the baby blanket for my nephew that is gonna be here in December, y'all. This is my story, okay? This is my story. I bring it in here to show y'all, and then I forget about it. So it's over here in this corner. And I thought about it the other night when we were all sitting around in the living room, like, "Oh, I should go get the baby blanket and work on it." And then, the recliner was too comfortable and okay. So here's the baby blanket. Y'all, it's so squishy and soft, and I really don't have much more to do, and I really need to get it done and get it in the mail so it'll be here when he arrives, but we'll see. You may see the same thing next week. Okay. So, what have I finished? Um, my cousin messaged me when she found out that her mom was coming to visit, and she asked for me to make some of these for her. So I made 2 of these for her, and then, um, I better not say. Anyways, I ended up making 4. I think some of them may be Christmas gifts, so I'm not gonna say anything else. But I ended up making 4 of these, while they were here and sent them home with them, so they were really tickled with that. And these are my sunshine ice cream cozies that fit on a pint of ice cream. It's a free pattern on my blog, so I will post that link below after the live. So if you wanna make some for Christmas gifts or for market, you can check it out. Um, well, I finished the bobble ear warmer, and it's over there because for some reason I thought it was a brilliant idea to put it on my other desk instead of the desk that I podcast at. So I will show y'all that next week. Okay, so I got to show y'all these. I learned to knit dishcloths. So this is the reason why I started crocheting. My Okay, I know these are knit, but just hear me out. So my grandma Morton used to knit washcloths, and I remember as a kid, washing dishes. That's basically what I used was the knit washcloths. And then she was also a crocheter. So she like crocheted those little dolls that people like put on their beds? Well, she would like crochet. I actually have one. I need to bring that in here to show y'all my next podcast. But she would crochet like the hat, the beautiful gown, the little umbrella, and all of that stuff. And then she crocheted slippers and stuff like this. But this is what got me interested in like knitting and crocheting. But when I decided to learn to crochet, like I was always interested in crochet over knitting. I thought knitting was going to be super hard. I'm like, I think one hook is going to be enough for me to handle. I don't think I could do the two needle thing. So that's why I chose to learn to crochet, but I've always been super intrigued about knitting. So when my aunt was here, we were talking and she pulled out her knitting needles and was working on a washcloth or a dishcloth. And I'm like, oh my goodness. So she showed me how, and it was really funny because she like sent me the pattern and then we were sitting there and she's like, I kept, like, looking at my phone. She's like, "Just tell me when you get to the part where you're gonna decrease," and she would just yell across the table at me, be like, "Okay, this is what you do," and then I would forget the next row, and she would just tell me again. I was like, "Oh my goodness," like, I need her just to move in with me. So I made this one, and of course, see the ends? Yeah, they're just hanging out. I'll weave them in someday. And then this one. So you can tell it's a little lopsided. Like I'm really like my tension's great when I start, but then when I start decreasing, it gets a little wonky. I may just block it so it's pretty. But I'm super excited. I love the way that these feel. They're so soft. So that was super fun to learn that and just kind of sharing that experience with my aunt. Um, and so I sent her home with, I didn't even know, a huge bag full of cotton yarn. Like it wouldn't all fit in the bag. And so that was cool to send her home with that. So she's going to make a bunch of washcloths. So that was I had a great time with them. So that's all. That's all that I have done. I have shipped out almost all of the Delightfully Autumn collection orders. There's just one that will be shipped out today. I miscounted on one of the tonals. Thankfully, it was only one, and so I dropped that in a pot, and it's already dried and twisted up and ready to be sent on. That is why I have a window because I need room for error. Like I need time to be like, if things go crazy, I'm not going to disappoint somebody because their, order's late. So, all right. Next, I'm going to show y'all what was inside the September Yarn Club package. It's really hard not to say box because for the first like almost 2 years, it was shipped in a box and then shipping prices got ridiculous. So now it comes in a bag. Okay. So let's see if I have it all here and organized. Yes, Jessica, I have been wanting to do some like beginner knit videos, but there's like my list of stuff that I want to do is like a mile long, but if I actually, hopefully I'll get to it one of these days. Okay, so September's Yarn Club theme was precious stones. So the colorways were inspired by like some of my favorite precious stones. Let me jump in and show y'all what the extras were. I really wish I had one of these with me that was opened, but I don't know where it's at. So there was this blue and white striped tote bag. So it's a really big tote bag and it's a reusable bag. Then you can fold it back up and put it in its little pocket. So when you unfold it, it has a pocket and then it tucks back into the pocket. So these are super handy and fit so much stuff in them. In fact, my aunt, I sent her home with one of these bags full of yarn, plus like more yarn that didn't fit in there. So I absolutely love these bags. They are so nice. And they're a thicker material too. So it's really hard. Like, you get some of those bags that like they're like paper thin and they can easily tear. These are not like that. They're really nice. I feel like this would be perfect for the beach too. Like you could keep water and sand out of your project. Okay, then these I love these. Y'all, even my husband was impressed with these. Like it's very rare that my husband pays attention to the yarn or the extras, but he was super impressed with these. I actually kind of think he wants a pair of these, but they're folding travel scissors. I have a thing for scissors. Like I want scissors in like my project bags because it really bothers me when I'm ready to like cut the yarn and I don't have scissors. So, when I weave the ends in, when I'm done weaving the ends in, I need to cut the ends, right? Okay. So they just pop out and there you go. And you have scissors. Like they're so cool. And you can take these on an airplane too. I think they have to be less than 3 or 4 inches, but I take scissors with me all the time on an airplane. And then you just pop them back in there like that, and there you go. You have scissors. So I love these. Like I want like 50 pairs of these. Um, and then there was I make pretty things with yarn stickers, and these are those really nice thick stickers that you can like put on a water bottle. And I thought it was just a really pretty color too. What else do we have here? Oh, and then there was a coupon code that they can scratch and use on my website. And then September was my birthday month. So I opened up spots in the Yarn Club to new members, and new members got a free gift. And then I can't like give new members a free gift and not give my old members a free gift. So everybody got one of these ALC Yarns stitch markers that my friend over at Nerdpreneur makes for me. Like, how cute is that? It's so cute. She nailed it. I love her wooden stitch markers because they're so lightweight and plus, like, super cute, huh? So, those were the extras. I thought it was a super fun month. I think every month is fun, but I really liked the extra little free gift because I need to just get her to make me a whole bunch because I always lose mine. Or I put them up because I don't want to lose them and then I forget where I put them. Are you ready to see the yarn? So, if you're new here, in my yarn club, not everybody gets the same yarn. Like there's usually a minimum of 3 different colorways each month because one, it's fun, and two, I don't like dyeing the same yarn color over and over again. And everybody has different yarn tastes. So then it's like there's something for everybody. And I don't get bored. There's that. Okay. I'm going to start out with my favorite. Well, I think this is my favorite. I couldn't do precious stones for my birthday month without doing my birth what is it called? My birthstone. Oh, I almost said birth month. Like, yeah. Okay, here we go. How gorgeous is that? Oh my goodness. I called this one Sapphired Up. I love the blues. There's like 3 different blues in here. So what I did is I started with a really, really pale blue base color, and then I poured over another color, and then poured over the darker color. So I just layered colors of blue, and it was so fun to watch. So here it is on my DK base. It's just like pictures, video does not do it justice. I want to see this worked up. It's so pretty. I think this would be a really pretty color for a hat. Okay, so this is colorway number 1, Sapphired Up. And I think you can tell which ones are my favorite because it's like I only have 2 of these left. I have one on DK and one worsted. And then I like this one too. This one is Glitz and Glam. It's speckles. I love speckles. I just went wild with speckles. Um, It's so funny because I wanted blues and a little bit of purple, and then look, sometimes the color breaks, so then there's that pop of pink and there's, like, a little bit of lime green. So it's really interesting when you speckle different dye colors because at different temperatures, it'll break into different colors. So it's always kind of like a gamble, like, um, I wonder what we're gonna see." Okay, here's one this is on sock weight. Like, how pretty would socks be? I have a thing for speckled yarn and socks. Like, it's just I think I have a thing for socks anyways, but look at all those speckles. So this is Glitz and Glam, and I love it. Okay, so I really think this one's my favorite too. This is the last one. Um, this one was really hard for me and I almost chickened out. So this is what I did. I put off dyeing for several days because I kept thinking about this color and I'm like, can I pull it off? And I'm like, I don't know. So I chickened out and this is what I did. I put it off and procrastinated. And finally I'm like, okay, I'm just going to do one dye pan and I'm just gonna try it out and see if it works, and if it doesn't, I'll go with a different idea. And so I did the one dye pan, and I'm like, "Oh my goodness, I love it." And I'm glad I didn't start with this color because I probably would have done the whole entire yarn club in this color. So, and when you see it, you're gonna understand why I was almost chickened out. Pastels are very hard for me because I like lots of color, and I like bright colors and layering colors. So this was a challenge, but it's so pretty. So this is called Hopefully Mine, and I based it off of I looked at so many different pictures of opals because there's so many different colors of opals. There's some that hold like more turquoise, or some that hold more white or blue or gray. So I just kind of looked at several pictures and just pulled my favorites from them. Um, so this is Hopefully Mine, and I think I have no, I have 3 sock weights left, and I think I'm gonna keep 2 because I think I wanna make another, Sassy Wrap, and I'm thinking, like, maybe a gray and that, like, seafoam color, or maybe that, like, really pale peachy pink. I don't know. I can't decide. But I thought this would be absolutely perfect for a wrap. Okay, sorry, I'm going on and on. Um, I have 1 left on worsted and 1 left on DK, and so there they are. This is my worsted base, and this is my DK base, and, like, I could not believe I pulled this off, y'all, because if you have followed me for any length of time, you know I very rarely do pastels. So I was really tickled that these turned out. And it's so funny because when I'm like scared of doing something or I don't think I can pull it off, I just procrastinate. I'm just like, nah, I'm just gonna overthink this a minute. And finally, I'm like, girl, you've got to get it together because you need to dye this yarn, get in there and try it. And it worked fine. Anybody else do that? You just kind of have to overthink stuff. Okay. So let me recap real quick. Everybody got a tote bag, a project bag. This was the free gift for everybody. It's super cool wooden ALC Yarns stitch marker, foldable scissors, which are the bomb. And there were various colors. There wasn't just pink. There was like black, blue, orange, red. Um, and I make pretty things with yarn stickers and then the 3 colorways. So regular members get 1 hank of yarn. Premium members get 2 hanks of yarn. And then premium members also get like an extra goodie that's just exclusive to them. And I can't remember what it I can't remember what it was from September. And just when I thought I had it all together. Well, I can't remember what it was for September. And now I had a couple people reach out to me that are premium members, and they asked if they could get 2 different colorways each month. So I posted in my yarn club last month and I said, "Okay, if you're a premium member and you want 2 different, colorways, let me know." And there were several people that took me up on that. And I thought that was really interesting. So, I just never thought, like, I just thought everybody wanted 2 of the same. So I think that's kind of cool that some people are getting 2 different colorways, and I can't wait to see what they do with them. Okay, so these are the 3 colorways for September: Glitz and Glam, Sapphired Up in the middle, and Hopefully Mine. So let me know which one is your favorite. I really think like the Sapphired Up is my favorite because it's my birthstone, but I really like the other 2 too. So once again, super fun month. I just love doing this. I love putting it all together and picking like the perfect colorway for whoever's receiving it. It's like a whole process. Like I look at, the person's name and I'm like, "Oh, I know she would like this." Well, I know she'd like probably like all 3, but I feel like this one is hers and I hope that I nail it. So far I haven't had any complaints. So hopefully I nail it every month. And if you're interested in joining the yarn club, I did open up some spots for November because um I went a little crazy when I ordered the extras for November. So I have some extras. So I was like, this is the perfect time to open up to new members. I will post links below. I sent out an email yesterday. So if you're on my wait list, grab those spots before I announce it publicly because they are limited because I have a limited amount of extras. And in December, we do 12 days of giveaways. I lose my mind a little bit. And I'm going to show y'all a sneak peek real quick of just a couple of the gifts because I can't contain myself. These came in the other day and I'm so stinking excited. I want one of these for myself. But so far I've refrained. Furls Crochet has these really pretty leather hook cases that open up like this, and then you just pull it out and you can put your hooks in there. Here. Isn't that nice? It's like buttery soft. Oh, it's so pretty. And then it just folds back up and I can't show it on video because I need 2 hands, and it folds back up and it just pops back in there. And so this is one of the giveaway prizes. So what we do is I have fun little games in there, and then you have until like a certain point to get your entry in by playing the game. My favorite is Caption This. When my Zoe girl was alive, I would have like funny little pictures of her. Like sometimes she would come in here and sit up against my yarn wall and just look at me. And so it was really fun to get people to like caption that, or like my cats with my yarn or my hook, or that's one of my favorites because it makes me laugh. I love laughing. But anyways, we just have like fun little games in there. And then I pick a day and I go through and I pick everybody, pick the winners. And then I go live and like winner of game 1 is, and I announce it. And then I pull from a hat what the prize is going to be. So it's really fun. I love giving. Like I'm just like I love giving gifts and prizes and things like that. So it's like my favorite time in the yarn club. So this is one of the goodies. I'm a huge Furls Crochet fan, so I use their Odyssey hooks exclusively. So there's going to be a lot of Furls prizes. Let me see if I got to show you another one because I can't contain myself. My friend Rakina sent me the perfect meme the other day, and it was something like, "I got you a gift. Do you want to see it?" Like I can't contain myself. No, I don't want to show that one. And that's why I cannot Christmas shop early because I'd be like, "Here you go. Merry Christmas in July." Okay, so here's another one. It is their glitter hook. It's so pretty because I love glitter. Okay, I'm going to contain myself now and I'm going to stop. So these are 2 of the 12 prizes for the 12 days of giveaways in December. Oh, I have been forgetting to show y'all this. Kelly at Kelly Crochet Crafts bought my Rhythm and Blues set. There's only one left in my yarn shop. She bought this set, but it was with gingerbread brown instead of chocolate brown. So if you want this and you want the gingerbread brown, just shoot me a message and I can swap it out for you. But anyway, she bought that set and look what she made with it. She made, well, let me just show you. Look at that shawl. I've been meaning to show y'all this for like 2 or 3 weeks and I keep forgetting. Um, is that not so pretty? Here's like a close-up detail. It made me love this set even more because y'all know I'm not a big fan of brown, but when I got that, kingfisher blue color in, I was like, "This has to go with brown," and literally, it was like a month. I had this colorway in my head, and anytime I wanna use brown, I put it off just to see if, like, it's a fluke thing, like, it's just a phase I'm going through. If I ignore it, it will go away. It did not go away. So anyways, that's how the Rhythm and Blues set, became a thing. But Kelly made okay, it's called Cherry Blossom Shawl by Two Brothers Blankets. And I'm just obsessed with it. I just think it's absolutely gorgeous. And then, somebody recently, and I can't remember your name, I'm sorry, they purchased one of my, Delightfully Autumn sets, and now I can't even remember what it was, which one it was. But anyways, they saw when I shared this to my stories and so they're making this with that, and I can't wait. I'm so excited. So I messaged Kelly the other day and I said, "You're starting a trend." And she's like, "Well, if a trend needs to be started, it might as well be me." So I had such a great time um chatting with her and seeing her shawl. She just knocked it out of the park. So I had to share that with y'all. Um Okay, so that is yarn news. I have one more thing in yarn news, literally, and I forgot to bring it in here. I knew I was going to do that. I have a tote, like full well, halfway full, of leftover yarn from the Delightfully Autumn collection. I don't think I have a full collection, like all 6 colorways, but I'm gonna be going through that and, pairing some and just getting it all inventoried, and I will have that in the shop hopefully this week. We'll see, but I'll send out an email. So if you're on my email list, if you missed the Delightfully Autumn, collection, um, my email list will get first chance at it before I announce it publicly that I have some. So if you missed it, it's not too late. I have some. I know I have a good bit left on worsted and DK, and I have a few left on sock weight. So yeah, and I knew I was going to forget that tote, bringing that in here. But anyways, okay. So that's all that I have for y'all this week, and I'm gonna leave you with a note of encouragement. So we are getting it's November now, and it's about to be the holiday season where life just gets really crazy for everybody. So this is something that's been on my heart lately. And it's something that, it doesn't always come easy. Um, but anyways, it's just been playing over and over in my head. So I gotta share it with y'all. Uh, Kindness. Being kind is a decision. It's not a feeling. Like so many times, like we're just like, it's easy to be kind when somebody's being nice to you. Um, or when you feel like it, like you're in a good mood. So, like, of course, I'm gonna smile at people and be extra nice and things like that. But it's actually a decision that we get to make when somebody isn't being so kind to us, or we feel like they're being rude or short with us or something. It's just human nature to like, well, if you're going to treat me like that, well, I'm going to treat you like that. But we get to decide. We get to decide to just be kind because number one, it makes us feel better. Like, if somebody is rude to me, yeah, they probably do deserve for me to be rude back at them. But then later on, I'm going to feel bad about it. I'm going to feel guilty. Um, But I never regret being kind. Yes, it's hard, and I haven't always been that way. I'm one of those, like, don't test my gangster. I got a gangster side too. Like, I can cut up, but one thing I have been practicing for the last several years is grace and kindness. Like, just it's a decision. It's not, "Oh, I feel like being kind, so I'm gonna be kind." No, I you get to decide. In this situation, when this person's being ugly, I'm just gonna be kind to them. And you know what? That's what changes hearts. You never know what somebody is going through, and let me tell you, somebody that worked with the public for over 20 years, working in a pharmacy where, people walk through the door, most of them don't wanna be there. Most of them don't feel good. Or, they're there picking up medicine for a sick loved one, or you have a mom that has 3 toddlers and one of them has the flu and the other 2 are just running around and wanting to touch everything, and she just wants to go home and take a nap, and she can't. So, it's so much easier. It's not always easy, but you will feel better if you can just be kind even when somebody's being ugly to you, and I feel like that's so important right now, especially in the holiday season. Like, if you've ever been Black Friday shopping, like, I don't do it anymore. I went, years and years ago, and I'm like, "Mm-mm, never again. I am too short, number 1. I'm not even 5 foot tall. I get, like, run over and things like that." And I'm like, "You know what? I'm gonna end up getting in a fight and going to jail." So, anyways, I'm not preaching. I just want y'all to know that. I just wanna share with you, like, something that I'm trying to do better about. Usually when I'm in public, um, grocery shopping or whatever, I have a mental list. I'm like, "Okay, I need to get this, this, and this." I want to go in there, get what I need, and I wanna get out. And so most of the time, I'm sure my facial expression is not kind. And a lot of it is because I'm thinking, and sometimes that hurts. But I have been trying very hard to be present where I'm at and not in my head and take the time to smile at people. Um, and in a world that sometimes feels like it's just gone crazy, we can make a difference. And it's not by treating people how they probably deserve to be treated, but we can be kind. And so I just want to share that with y'all because it's been on my heart and I've been wanting to share it on social media, but sometimes I feel like if you can't see my facial expressions, if you can't hear my voice, it could come across as like preachy, like, ha, I'm better than you. I'm kind and you're not. That's not what I mean. Because let me tell you, my husband will tell you that I'm not always kind, but I'm trying. And it is like I've noticed like it's a decision. It's not that I feel like being kind, so I'm gonna be kind. No, it's easy to be kind when somebody is being kind to you. But when they're that last nerve, when they hold that flame to that last nerve and you about to, like, tell them about themselves, you're just like, "You know what? Mm-mm." Okay, so I wasn't gonna tell this story, but I'm gonna tell y'all this story since I just, like, went on this little rampage here. A couple years ago, oh, man, I was so stressed out. Let me tell you, it was like we were about to have, like, some super, super cold weather. I was working my full-time job, which was a demanding, stressful job. I was up to my ears with my business. My business is kind of taking off and there was just a lot going on, okay? And my heater went out in my car. And my husband at the time, my husband was having to drive to Memphis every day, which is like an hour drive. And we were supposed to get some like super cold weather. So we were just like, okay, took it to the shop. I asked friends and they're like, take it here. They're good people and they don't do you wrong, all that stuff. So I took it by this shop and I when I dropped it off, I said, "I know it needs a tune up, like it needs spark plugs." And I said, "And the heater is out in it." I said, "But before you fix it, please call and let me know prices because we may have to just, get the heat fixed and get the other one done later. We may not be able to afford to, do it all." Anyways, she told me it was going to be a couple days. I said, "That's fine." I got a ride to work. Well, a couple hours later, she called and she told me my total. And I was like, "Okay, well, can you tell me what was what?" And she's like, "Oh, we just did it all." And I was like, "Oh, well, I thought it was going to be a couple days before I could even get an estimate." And they just went ahead and did everything. And it was pricey. Okay. It was up there. So I was like, "Oh, well, okay." So I paid for it. I mean, what are you going to do? I paid for it, put it on a credit card. And I after work we were too busy at the time, so after work, I had somebody take me to pick up my car, and I'm driving home, and I only, like, was 10 minutes from town, my home is. So, I get on the highway, and I'm like, "It's not heating up." And I'm like, "Be patient, be patient." I pull in my driveway, and there's still no heat. So, by this time, your girl was hot, like, I didn't need a heater. So I remembered when I was at the shop that they used a cell phone for their business. So in kind of a psychotic moment, I called the cell phone and I let it ring like crazy. Like I should have hung up like several rings ago. And somebody answers and I told them who I was and I said that I had just, had my heater fixed in my car and it's not working. And I was pretty upset about this. But again, I was kind, but you could tell in my voice that, like, it's just gonna take one thing and I'm gonna, like, lose it. Um, anyway, she's like, "Oh, well, bring it in the next morning," and all of this stuff, and okay, so I'm trying to make this short. Anyways, the next morning, I drop it off, and when I went in, I was very firm. Again, it was nice, it was really hard. Um, I was like, "Do not fix it until I know a price. Like, just let me know how much it's gonna be." Like, I said it several times really nicely, and again, she told me it was gonna be a couple days. Well, they called me in a couple of hours, and it was, like, almost $2,000, and I was like, "Oh, well, that's not happening." I was like, "Okay, well, just put it back together. We can't get it fixed." And let me tell y'all, I said, "I'll be, down there in a little bit to pick up my car." It took me 4 hours to calm down to where I knew that I could be kind, but I also was very upset and I wanted to talk to the owner and let him know how I felt. So I walk in the door. Finally, I'd calmed down and all the way there, like the lady that drove me, to pick up my car, I'm thinking grace and kindness, Nikki, be grace and kindness, grace and kindness. Number 1, if you can't afford to get your car fixed, you sure can't afford bail money to get out of jail if you lay your hands on somebody if they get an attitude. So I'm like, be nice, like keep the gangster down. So I walk in there and I asked for the owner and I was nice, but it was like borderline, like this could go bad. So I'm like, the whole time in my head, I'm like, grace and kindness. Like, you've got to be nice. And so this guy walks in not long after, and I look at him and I said, "Are you so and so?" He's like, "No, ma'am." And he turned around and walked off. I was like, "Oh, Nikki, tone it down." So the owner walks in and he sees my face and he like walks way away from me, walks all the way in front of me, goes behind the counter to have the counter between us. And at this point, I'm crying because I'm like trying to contain my mad and be nice. And I told him that, look, I said, "I feel like you took advantage of me." I said, "I asked friends who I could go to fix my vehicle, and I just went through and I told him, everything that happened like I just told you." And the look on his face, he was like, and I said, "I just wanna let you know." I said, "I'm not about to blast you on Facebook. I'm not, nothing like that." I said, "But I feel like you just need to know, what happened." Anyways, he was like, "Ma'am, we'll just fix your car for free." And I'm like, "No, that's not what I want. I don't want you to do that." He's like, "No, we could probably find parts from a junkyard." All and they kept on, and they were, insistent. And so, I talked to my husband about it. He's like, "Nikki, just let them do that. We do need heat, da 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 da." So anyways, they ended up making the situation right. But, I think back and I'm like, if I would have gone in there with like guns blazing, like ready to fight somebody, that could have gone totally different. But instead, yes, I did get upset and I cried, but it was because I was suppressing the anger. And I just told him. I just communicated with him. And sometimes there is that misunderstanding. And sometimes communication can fix something that could just totally be blown out of proportion. So I told y'all this because if you need a laugh, I told my husband later that day. Well, when we got home, he said, "So they really are?" I said, "They kept on. Like I really felt bad about it." And I said, "But they were like, I thought they were just gonna keep my car, like not give me my keys back until I agreed." And he's like, "Wow, you saved us so much money by switching to Psycho." I was like, and he cracked up. And I'm like, "Not cool, buddy, not cool." So every once in a while, that story will come back up. But I just wanted to share that in case you thought I was being preachy. I'm like, no, I'm like talking to myself too, because it's so much easier to be mad sometimes. And sometimes we just have to dig deep for that grace and kindness that sometimes when we mess up, we want somebody to, give us grace and kindness. So that was a lot, y'all. I am so sorry. Okay, so, now that like, I'm full-blown crazy girl over here, not just a crazy yarn lady, um, alright, let me know which one of the September Yarn Club colors was your favorite. And if you want to join the yarn club, I will have links below in just a little bit so you can come join the fun. And the yarn, it's more than just yarn. It's a great community. Like we have yarn friends in there. We just have it's an experience every month. It's like a month-long experience. And then it starts over once you get your yarn, and then it starts over again. And it's great. Okay, I'm gonna quit talking now. And I will talk to y'all next week. And until next time, happy yarning. Bye.